Hello, good evening, and welcome to Business Live. Coming up, Ghana Export-Import Bank describes the 3-year extension of the African Growth and Opportunity Act by the U.S. government as a major opportunity to deepen Ghana's export presence.
Advantage of this geopolitical shift and at least ensure that we are able to maximize it to the effect of creating jobs for the mass of our people. The whole idea of resetting this country, the whole idea of a 24-hour economy.
We'll also get to hear from the Association of Ghanaian Exporters. Also in this bulletin, Ghana's economy expanded by 3.8% in October last year. We have latest from the Ghana Statistical Service.
October 2025, agriculture contributed 1.3% to the overall growth of 3.8%. Industry contributed 28.7%, and services contributed the most, 75%.
Plus, today on the Joy Business Van, we'll tell you how Naturaholics is empowering girls, redefining skincare, and championing sustainability. Details of these and more for you. Please stay on. Glad you could make time to join us. I am Pius Kojobaka, and look now at our stories. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Export-Import Bank, Sylvester Mensah, has described the 3-year extension of the African Growth and Opportunity Act by the U.S. government as a major opportunity to deepen Ghana's export presence, particularly in the garment and apparel sector. He made this remark on the sidelines at the launch of the Ghana Export-Import Bank at 10 International Conference here in Accra.
Particularly for those of us who are more engaged in agriculture and who intend to process agriculture, you realize that the geopolitical situation seems to be shifting some particular businesses to the African region, particularly when it comes to garments and apparel. Most of the big brands that we wear, whether it is Nike, name them, most of them are produced in the Far East. Today, most of these big brands are moving closer to Africa, and in particular, Ghana. You'll be surprised to hear some of the brands that are currently being produced in Ghana, and which you and I would travel to UK, to Dubai, and other places to procure, only for us to realize that these that we are buying are produced here in Ghana. Ours is to take advantage of this geopolitical shift and at least ensure that we are able to maximize it to the effect of creating jobs for the mass of our people. The whole idea of resetting this country, the whole idea of a 24-hour economy, all come together in generating the kind of impact in the Ghana that we want, as proudly espoused by our President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, in his reset agenda.
Let's get more reactions on the back of that. Joining us via Zoom now is the president of the Federation Association of Ghanaian Exporters, Davis Kobo. Thank you so much, Mr. Kobo, for agreeing to speak to us here on Business Live. And your thoughts about the announcement of the extension of the AGOA?
Thank you very much, and let me say good afternoon to your cherished viewers and listeners. I think for us as a country, it came as a relief, especially when we want to move from import-driven country to export-driven economy, and also making sure that we create jobs for our teeming youth and also for our exporters. So I think that for me, it's big relief, and we are grateful to the United States.
All right, so what could be the impact of this on your operations for your members especially?
So as a country independently, we have a policy, the 24 economy, the Ghana economic growth enclave seeks to expand markets. And with all this and on continuously our exporters need to produce and look for alternative markets. So if AGOA has been extended for 3 years, and like I heard Mr. Benson talking about apparel and garments, which is very true. And we are just going to take advantage of this and make sure that we continuously produce, add value, and export. Because if you look at the entire world, if you look at where Ghana is positioned, I think that 6 hours to Europe, we are there. And for us, if you take direct flight to the US, 12 hours maximum, you're in Dallas. So it tells you that it is a big opportunity for us and for us our exporters to take advantage of it.
Mr. Kobo, what should government do to minimize some of these trade disruptions because of its impact on your business operations as well?
Come again.
I'm asking what you think government must do to minimize some of these trade disruptions because of its negative impact on the businesses of your members.
I think for me, if you look at, let's talk about the CD, for instance, the import became cheaper, and the reason we want to continue leveraging on AGOA to how do you call it, promote local capacity. And that is one other thing that we're all looking at. And again, continuously, we looking at Ghana build productive effectiveness and cost efficient country. So in that case, I think that if we balance the two, I tell people always that, for instance, let's go to the CD appreciation. It's not really about how it appreciates, but about the stability. And these are some of the things we are looking at. If we get this right, then the impact on our economy will be better.
Davis Kobo, thank you so much for your time here on Business Live, speaking to us on the back of the extension of AGOA by the U.S. government. Now, to one of our leading stories, Ghana's economy grew by some 3.8% in October last year, and that's according to the latest monthly indicator of economic growth released by the Ghana Statistical Service today. Now, this represents a marginal increase over what was recorded in the same period last year. And we have more for you in this report.
The services sector remained the main growth driver, expanding by 5.5% in October 2025, marginally lower than the 5.6% recorded a year earlier. Despite the slight slowdown, the sector accounted for a dominant 74.7% of total economic growth, supported mainly by communication, wholesale, and retail trade subsectors.
Overall growth increased from 3% in October 2024 to 3.8% in October 2025, indicating stronger economic performance. Agriculture grew more slowly in October 2025 than same period in 2024. Industry expanded much faster in October 2025 than same period in 2024. Services maintained strong and stable growth over the period. The sustained upward trend in October suggests positive momentum entering the final quarter of the year, and I'm talking about 2025. While monthly figures can be volatile, the data signals continued expansion, particularly from the services and industry sectors.
The industry sector posted a notable improvement, recording growth of 3%, a sharp rise from 0.4% in October 2024. Their stronger performance reflects a broader expansion in industrial activity and contributed 28.7% to the overall growth rate for the month.
From the data, we see that the key drivers of the October 2025 growth are manufacturing growth, which actually strengthened industrial performance, communication and trade, which boosted services, and seasonal agricultural activities, especially in the fishing subsector, which supported overall output. Contribution to growth tells us how much each sector adds to the total growth rate based on both its size and its growth. In October 2025, agriculture contributed 1.3% to the overall growth of 3.8%. Industry contributed 28.7%, and services contributed the most, 75%, with net indirect taxes contributing negative 4.7%.
Overall, the October 2025 MIEG figures indicate a steady recovery in economic momentum underpinned by resilient services activity and improved industrial performance, even as agriculture continues to lag behind other sectors.
Reacting to the monthly GDP estimates, Head of Finance at Merban Capital, Nelson Kojoku-Agbaji, welcomed Ghana's 3.8% economic expansion recorded in October 2025, describing it as an encouraging signal of recovery, but cautioned that the growth must translate into tangible relief for households and businesses. He spoke earlier on the marketplace.
Number one, the economy has done pretty well, even though we could have done better. Considering the fact that there were significant milestones that we achieved during the course of last year. But although the monthly indicator may not give us a clear picture, however, I'm sure when the data for December is released, we will actually get to know what is the overall growth for the last quarter and that of the entire year. However, I think that going forward, most of this growth should be informed by policy decisions. Policies that are intentional, policies that are focused, and policies that are result-oriented. I mean, the director just mentioned that agri couldn't do well in terms of contribution to the overall growth. I think that this will inform policy decision going forward, since agri is the mainstay of our economy, so that we can get more growth from the agricultural sector.
This is still Business Life. We have the Joy Business Van for you after this break. Hello, welcome back to Business Life. Let's now take the Joy Business Van. Naturaholics is changing the face of skincare in Ghana. Founder Dr. Alberta Emisa is empowering girls, promoting natural beauty, and driving sustainability in every product. Today on the Joy Business Van, we are in the production facility.
In a country where skin bleaching continues to affect confidence and health, one Ghanaian doctor is changing the narrative, building a skincare brand rooted in science, self-love, and belief that healthy skin should never come at the cost of identity. Today, the Joy Business Van is at the production facility of Naturaholics, founded by Dr. Alberta Emisa.
We make cleansers, serums, facial moisturizers, body butters, body oils, cleansing bars. We have sunscreens, facial masks, facial scrubs, basically everything facial and body. We make it here at Naturaholics.
Before Naturaholics reaches your skin, it begins with intention.
We import the majority of our ingredients, so the skincare actives, almost everything. We have to import it. So we have to make sure that we are getting it from the right supplier. So we are basically stuck on 2 suppliers because so far they've been very dependable, because sometimes some people can give you very fake raw materials and that would affect the product outcome. So we are very particular about the suppliers that we choose.
Every formula, every jar, every label is crafted with care.
When the ingredients come in, we make sure that we disinfect our packaging before we use them. We make sure that everything is done under the right conditions. And also the formulators are very skilled, so they know what they are doing. They know when to tweak what to do. We test out the formulas. Whenever there's going to be a new release, we have to test out the formulas and make sure that everything is right. We check the pH, make sure that it's the appropriate pH so that it doesn't hurt anybody's skin. So we put all that in place. We incubate the products to know the shelf life that it's supposed to have, so that we are putting out the right shelf life out there. So all these things, we do all our stability tests to make sure that whatever that's going out on the market is the right thing that's going out on the market. I'm very intentional about the color of the packaging. We use very colorful packaging just to draw you in, and we make sure we provide all the information you need, including the ingredient list, the star ingredients in the products, how to use the products. We are very intentional about the packaging and make sure that the clients, when they pick the package, they're able to get every information they need to be able to make a decision as to whether they are going in for our products or not.
Alberta recounts her early days.
I started Naturaholics from my kitchen when I was a house officer. So I was working alone, and a lady who used to help me with domestic chores would normally help with the cleanup. But eventually I hired that lady when I moved into a shop. And so 1 became 2, 2 became 3. Currently, we have 6 in-house workers, and then we have 2 also working remotely. Mainly female, only 1 male. Mainly female, because we are all about female empowerment. Hello.
And how does Naturaholics market its products?
Currently, we don't have a Naturaholics walk-in store, but when you go to our aesthetic clinic, we stock all Naturaholics products there. So you're able to walk in there and then make your purchases from there. But other than that, mainly it's online. Yeah, direct to consumer online. You can order in from our website, www.naturaholics.com. So we are on Instagram, TikTok, mainly Instagram and TikTok. We are also on Facebook, but we are more active on TikTok and Instagram as Naturaholics.
While these marketing strategies have been effective and profitable, Alberta has not ruled out the possibility of opening a walk-in store. So
we would like to open a walk-in store where you can come, make your purchases, and then also have, a 30 or 45-minute facial where a professional can do extractions and then after that make product recommendations. So that's something I'm looking forward to doing.
At the heart of Naturaholics is a commitment to nurturing beyond skincare. The Nurture for Girls initiative was born from a simple but powerful belief that every girl deserves health, dignity, and confidence. We'll hear about it next time.
Now, government has assured that port users and importers will not be made to pay any extra cost from the deployment of the artificial intelligence system at the country's ports. The system is aimed at ensuring efficiency and accuracy in duty payments. Speaking to the business community at the stakeholders' engagement in Accra, Deputy Minister for Finance Thomas Nyakuampim assured that the system will promote fairness and efficiency. More in this report.
The Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority says the installation of an artificial intelligence system at the ports is aimed at creating a more efficient and transparent environment for users. However, some businesses have raised concerns about the new system, particularly as the Integrated Customs Management System, ICUMS, is already operational and providing similar services. Stakeholders have questioned the affordability of the AI system and its potential impact on the operations. At a stakeholder engagement in Accra, the Deputy Minister for Finance, Thomas Ampemnyako, assured importers and exporters that they will not be required to pay additional fees for the service.
This implementation is not coming at any cost to you. We never said that we are not paying the service provider. So let's get the two correctly. We never said that the service provider will not be paid. What we said is that we are not charging you any extra fee for the service. For the burden for the payment of the service provider will not be on you. That is why I referred to my brother and said
Now, Ghana's business and maritime environment is showing renewed strength in 2026, driven by stronger CD, improved foreign exchange buffers, and rising export earnings that are easing trade costs and stabilizing port operations. Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana says prior to 2025, port stakeholders grappled with high costs, currency volatility, among other challenges, raising the cost of doing business. This was disclosed at a media briefing at Ashaman.
Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana says the cedi had strengthened about 40% against the US dollar, significantly easing import costs and reducing exchange rate pressures across the maritime value chain. The association added that foreign exchange reserves rose to over $11 billion, providing nearly 5 months of import cover and reinforcing market confidence. Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asaki Awingobit, indicated that export earnings surged by estimated 60%, recording trade surpluses and easing pressure on the local currency. According to him, within the ports and maritime space, these gains translated into lower clearing costs, improved liquidity, smoother port operations, and a more predictable business environment.
The observable appreciation of the cedi is not accidental, but reflects discipline, monetary policy, improved market confidence, and tightened foreign exchange market activity that supported the stronger market fundamentals, all of which work directly to support importers and exporters. Ladies and gentlemen, resilience of external buffers, reserve adequate to cover significant months of import, underpin the cedi external stability. This is tangible buffer that provides confidence to traders and investors alike. Ladies and gentlemen, export growth contribution, strong performance in Ghana external sector with surplus and robust export earnings directly assist the foreign exchange position, reducing pressure on the local currency and enabling reduced import costs.
Meanwhile, Asaki Awingobit is pleading with government to support the establishment of rice processing plants close to farms to reduce post-harvest losses, improve quality, and enable producers to efficiently supply local and export markets.
What is lacking here is that where our rice farms are sitting and where the facilities, the mills are sitting are very far, and that has been a challenge. We are proposing and we are appealing to government that they should be able to help those who want to set up rice, processing plant to be set up close to where the farm gates are, so that they harvest and straight away there are dryers, there are mulcher, straight away there are pipe boilers, and they can start processing so that to avoid the breakage of our rice. So you can have a long grain and we have a very good starch of the rice. It is the cost of doing business what I think we have to look at it, and we have to appeal to Minister of Agriculture to maybe give them a special subsidy that will reduce their cost. Because I don't imagine during Christmas, you go and you're buying 5 kg import rice of, let's say, 60 cedis, and then you're buying the local rice of, say, 100 Ghana cedis. Definitely, if you go to the market, you buy the one that you can afford. And I think that the local ones cost rather be lower.
Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana urged the government to maintain and continue improving the business environment to boost the country's economy.
Kwame Yanka filed that report. That's it for Business Live for today. I am Pius Kujobaka. You can log on to myjoyonline.com/business for all the business stories you need to know here in Ghana and beyond. See you at 8 p.m.